Okay, let's start. So thank you very much for joining us today's online Japanese calligraphy class. Um, so if you have question, please use a chat box or maybe unmute later. So if we still have the time, I may have time to answer your questions. And then before starting, I want to announce that I'm going to have a calligraphy workshop next month, like May 9th and May 16th at the Art Student League of Denver, but it's going to be Zoom like this. So today is going to be a really good practice for upcoming classes. Okay, so let's start. And so again, my name is Mamiko Ikeda, and I teach Japanese calligraphy and sumi ink drawing at the Art Student League of Denver. And sometimes I teach with my husband, Homare Ikeda, who teach abstract painting. And so today I'm going to introduce Japanese calligraphy, or shodo in Japanese language. And so to begin with, I would like to explain a little bit about shodo tools called Bunbo Shiho. So we have 4 essential calligraphy tools, include rice paper, inkstone, and sumi ink stick, and most importantly, brushes. And traditionally, we pour water into inkstone and grind with the sumi ink stick to make solid black ink. But it's okay to use the ready-made liquid ink. So today I'm going to use the liquid ink. Okay, and then about brushes, there are many kinds of brushes and different sizes, different lengths, but I would say medium-sized brush, about like 2 inches long, might be a good to use. And then today, if you have calligraphy brush, I would like you to try to practice a little bit with me. But if you don't have a calligraphy brush pens, like right here, like a brush pens, or like pointed painting brush can be used. But pretty much like any kinds of brush is okay, but like pointed one will be a good to use. And also, something important here. If you haven't used, like if you have a brand new brushes and haven't used, you need to rinse them to take all the glue out. Okay. And then how to hold the brush. So not like holding pencil. Try to make it straight as possible. And then hold it like in the middle of it. And then elbow up. But keep your shoulders relaxed. So that's how you hold your brush. And then sit up. So before we practice, actually, I would like to show some different brush writing styles. This kanji or Chinese character is wind, or kaze in Japanese language. And the first one here is kaisho, square or block style, which is official writing so that everybody can read or recognize. And this one is different style of kaisho. And next one is gyosho, or semi-cursive style. And then the last one is sosho. is cursive style. So the social or cursive style is very, very simplified. So it's hard to read. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's hard to read. So you need to be trained to be able to read them. So when I make my own art, I use a lot of freestyle, but more closer to like semi-cursive style, so that everybody can still, read or recognizable and readable. So that's, I think it's important for my own art. And this is one of my art pieces. I wrote my own poem with brush and ink, and I used more cursive, like semi-cursive style, so still recognizable, readable. And then this one particularly, I wrote on a white cloth. Sometimes I write on canvases or clothes, not just on paper. It has a different effect, and sometimes it's really interesting as well. And then with brush marking, I use those marks and make different pieces like those. So yeah, those are kind of calligraphic brush marks. And those are monotype prints. Okay. So now I would like to go on to the calligraphy basic strokes. So there are few different basic strokes for kaisho. And then all the kanji or Chinese characters are made with combination of those basic strokes and some variations. Today, I'm going to introduce horizontal stroke and vertical stroke, and when we write a kanji character, shifting stroke as well. Okay, so do you think you can practice with me? If you don't have a brush, you can use your hand as well. Okay, because the angle and speeding is really important. So yeah, if you don't have brushes, you can use your hand. Like imagine your hand as a brush, so that you can kind of move, so that yeah, everybody can participate or practice. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to second camera. Now can you see this? Okay. So when you start to make calligraphy stroke, so start with a bit angled, not straight like this, but a bit angled. And wait a few seconds. And when you move, speed up and slow down toward the end. And then again, wait a few seconds before lifting your brush. Okay. So I'm going to demonstrate. So I'm going to use this Sumi ink. And then before making mark, dip your brush all the way into Sumi ink. And then take the excess out using the edge of the container and make the edge pointed. Okay, when you start with a bit angled and wait a few seconds. And start speed up and down. And wait a few seconds before lifting. Okay. And then you can try with like a different sizes, different lengths, and different speed. Okay, so let's practice a few times. You can use your hand, or you can use blush pens, or you can use regular painting brushes too. Okay. So when I first started practicing calligraphy, like when I was 6 years old or so, I just practiced this again and again for like 100 times, 200 times, 300 times. And it's okay to just make the paper all black. That's totally fine until you get the feeling. Okay. If you have any questions, please use the chat box to type your questions so that maybe I can answer later. Okay. And then please. Can you see it well? Good. Okay, so now we're gonna try to practice the vertical stroke. The how to make it is almost the same. So the same angle and same pressure, but just going down. So start with a bit angled, like 45-degree angle, and go down and wait a few seconds before lifting. Okay. So again, so dip your brush all the way into the ink, take the excess out, make the edge pointed, and again, start with a bit angled. Can you see? Wait a few seconds, go down, and wait a few seconds again. So again, you can do some different size, different speed. Okay, so yeah, let's practice this for a few times. Okay, so we have about 9 more minutes. So as a today's final practice, we're gonna practice character. Mountain, or yama in Japanese. And then this character is from a pictograph of the mountain and simplified, and using the square style stroke, this character was made. And then one more important thing is each character has a stroke order. and usually top to bottom and left to right. So stroke orders are very important. Following a stroke order gives your brush flow better. So it's important to follow the stroke order. So 1, 2, 3. So from top to bottom and left side to right. So this one you have the shifting stroke. So when you shift, do not lift your brush completely, but stop completely instead, and then move, and then top to bottom again. Okay, so I'm gonna do the mountain here. So again, make the edge pointed before starting. So 1, go down, and from left to right. So here, stop completely and move, and top to bottom. So you get the stroke order. So 1, 2, 3. And this stroke is new. So I'm going to do the shifting again. Stop completely, but do not lift completely, and then go. So 1, 2, 3. So that edge gets stronger and sharper. So the learning the basics and basic strokes is important because like it's learning how to control your brush. So once you are able to control your brush, it's easier to go to the next step. So even when you explore your own style, so you need to know the rules in order to break them and in order to go to the next phase. So that's why the basic is very important, and especially the horizontal ones and horizontal strokes and vertical strokes. Those are very important. Once you get the feeling how to make it right, and then the next stroke, like those shifting and other strokes, get much easier after learning the basics. So that's why I'm telling this all the basics today. I hope you are enjoying it. Okay, thank you. Okay, I think I got question. So if you have any questions, please use it. I think I got something. Why do you pause at the end of each stroke? So you can you see now? Okay, good. So yeah, basic strokes are right here. So all the kaisho or block style characters are combination of those basic strokes. So each stroke has a beginning and end, beginning and end. So the kaisho strokes needs to everything has a beginning and end. But for the semi-cursive or cursive styles, we kind of make it like simplified so that all the strokes can be connected. So those are different story. But for the basics, each character has a beginning and end. So that's why you have to stop and really firmly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Okay. Any other questions? So that's what we've done today. And I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, we probably have to stop finish in a few minutes, but um, this is one of the my work at the Mining Art Surprise Store 2 years ago when I did a demo and talk. I did like kind of big performance in here. So what I wrote here is work in beauty. Okay, so if you'd like to continue practicing calligraphy, Oriental calligraphy, this kanji and kana dictionary is really useful because each character um, shown with brush and ink writing, and the stroke orders are in it. And also, I made this calligraphy learning book with my mother, master calligrapher. She's living in Japan, and a few years ago we made this book together. So this would be good for beginner and even intermediate learners as well. Okay, so any questions? Thank you very much for joining us. So I hope to see you again in person in a future class. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mommy. That was great.
Thank you.
Thanks. Nice to see you.